Welcome to the Emotional Balance Sheet, the go-to podcast for parents with multiple kids, especially those with twins, triplets, or more, who are navigating the maze of modern family life and personal finance. Whether you're overwhelmed by education or retirement planning, parenting dilemmas, career transitions, or trying to define your purpose and plan, we're here to guide you with empathy, encouragement, and expertise. Hosted by Paul Fenner, founder of Tama Capital, a certified financial planner and parent to 4 kids, including a set of triplets, our podcast is your ally in the quest for financial peace of mind, proving that money matters, but family comes first. Subscribe now and join our community of empowered parents at tamacapital.com.
This podcast is for informational purposes only and should not be relied upon for investment decisions. Clients of Tama may retain positions in the securities discussed in this podcast.
What does comprehensive financial planning even mean? At Tama Capital, it means a family office where lifestyle planning such as retirement, college, portfolio management, tax prep, and planning all are under one umbrella. But it goes beyond numbers. We focus as much on the emotional side of financial planning as we do on the financial side. We get you. We understand your challenges of building a family, business, or career, and a healthy life. We are devoted to wealth planning for families like yours because we are you. Learn how our family can help your family by visiting tamacapital.com.
Welcome back. Milestones occur all the time, but we probably think of birthdays and anniversaries the most. And recently, in my family, both personally and professionally, I reached 2 major milestones, and they both happened on the same day. The first is my triplets turned 13 years old. It still amazes me where the time goes, because it gets harder and harder to remember them as little babies or even toddlers. But the other special moment that happened on that day was that I started my firm, Tama Capital. And for those of you that may not know, Tama is a pretty unique name. I did not come up with it. It was not the first name of the firm. But my dear friend, close family member, and career mentor, Camille Jane, actually came up with the name shortly after our plus one, Mackenzie, was born. So Tama stands for my wife, Teresa, Aiden, Madison, Mackenzie, and Andrew. So you take the first initial of their first name and you get Tama. And that's really what my firm is about, families, helping families. So every year, I share this special birthday or milestone event with my triplets. And I think that even makes it even more special. And around this time of the year, there's always this phrase that I think of that some person I randomly met in an office building when my triplets were basically on their way, told me, "Be careful. The days are long, but the years are short." The days are long, but the years are short. And for me, after 13 years of being a parent, it's the truest truism of parenthood I could ever think of. People always ask Teresa and I, "How'd you guys do it?" And our response is typically, "We've done it one day at a time, and now one day at a time has turned into 13 years. And I always say, tongue-in-cheek, that first year of the triplets, and the business for that matter, was one of the hardest years of my life. Mainly because I volunteered for the night shift. Both Teresa and I had full-time corporate jobs at the time, and one of us had to be the one willing to feed 3 babies, which took an hour and a half each shift. And at 12:30 at night and 4:30 in the morning. And I did it. And I can still remember some of those, I guess, mornings, if you will, and wondering how this life will turn out. How will this life turn out? But recently I was having a conversation with another person, completely opposite of where I am today. Hopefully I get to be this person someday down the road. But I think this phrase, the days are long and the years are short, is very applicable to many things in life, especially relationships. So I was having lunch with a Tama family, and this young lady had been married for 50 years when her husband passed away. 50 years. And I was thinking about that. I mean, over 50 years, there had to be some long, long days in that time period. But as I was talking to her and listening to her tell stories, which I love, I could sit and listen to this lady all day tell stories. I just love it. It's one of the best parts of my job. But I was thinking, as she was telling a few of these stories, is that, man, where did those years go? And she's like, Paul, they just go by. And the harder you try to hold on to them, the faster they slip through your fingers. And that really resonated with me. And that's why I love having these conversations with people of all ages, if you will. And it's really important that I share these stories and keep, the memory of her husband there. And it's really quite sometimes very emotional and overwhelming. But I think if we can keep this in mind, the days are long, but the years are short, it could help us throughout the year when times get really chaotic, especially around holidays or these special milestones where you may say, well, I just want to get through it. And I know I have this conversation with Teresa all the time. And as we get older, I'm constantly thinking, no, those days are over. Like getting through these days, no, that's the wrong approach. It's the wrong idea, the wrong mindset. Because there's this other phrase that I was told early on with kids was that you will, and I'm paraphrasing here, you'll end up raising your kids but not enjoying your kids. And that one sticks with me just as much as the days are long and the years are short. Because I'm fully aware and guilty of this too when I'm running my kids from activity to activity or helping with homework or consoling somebody after a bad day at school. And it's tough because in the back of my mind, I'm thinking I need to be present for these kids and my wife, Teresa, for that matter, and all my family and friends. But then I'm also maybe thinking about, okay, what do I need to do next? And I think it's this really wonderful gift of being present for somebody and really listening, which is another thing I absolutely love about what I do in helping families and being their advisor, and both personally and financially. And so I think those are my big takeaways for this week is, if you can, slow down and think about the phrase, the days are long and the years are short.
Thank you for listening to this episode of the Emotional Balance Sheet Podcast. Please visit tamacapital.com to subscribe to this podcast or to connect with certified financial planner and registered investment advisor Paul Fenner of Tama Capital. And please join us again next time on the Emotional Balance Sheet Podcast.
If you've enjoyed this conversation, could you do me a favor? Do you know anyone else who would enjoy these types of conversations where we talk about the intersections of our emotional and financial lives? Because if you do, it's actually going to help both of us. Could you share this conversation with someone? They will think you're great because you just gave them this terrific podcast, and it helps me grow my audience. Or you can tell them to go to tamacapital.com. That's all for this week. We'll see you next time.